Hello, hello, hello. Now, are you looking for possible reasons for RCB's loss against SRH in the qualifier yesterday? Or maybe you're looking forward to the semi-final between Delhi Capitals and Sunrisers tomorrow. Whatever it is you're looking for, we've got you covered on the Smell the Leather Cricket podcast. And joining me is my co-host Gaurav Bajaj.
I Yeah, so Adit, before we start discussing the preview for the qualifier two, let's just quickly discuss what went wrong for RCB. And this is not specific to the match yesterday. I'm asking you in general regarding how their tournament went, what went wrong for them, whether it was their batting, their bowling, what went wrong for them.
Let's take a look at yesterday's match first. Now, Virat Kohli's move about promoting himself to the top of the order, it was a great move, positive move which you called for. So good job on that. But then, if you look at their first 6 overs, 32 for two, you can't do that in a qualifier and then expect to bounce back. And if you look throughout the innings, it was only AB de Villiers and a 30 odd from Finch. And that's pretty much it from their batting. I think we spoke about how important Sandeep Sharma and Rashid Khan was going to be. And I think it was a case of RCB's batting where they were too focused on eliminating those threats that the other bowlers like Holder came in and took those all important wickets, like Virat Kohli getting caught down the leg side. That's not something you would expect from him. So I think it was just a case of that, and SRH's bowling lineup worked so well together. Like every one of them contributed in yesterday's game, from Shahbaz Nadeem to Sandeep Sharma with his economy rate, and Natarajan towards the end with his Yorkers. It was just an all-round performance from SRH. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely spot on. I think it throughout the tournament they have just not been settled with a team. If you just look at their top orders, so they have tried Philippi, they have tried Aaron Finch, and they if they did want to go out with Virat Kohli as a possible opening option, they should have done it right from the start.
Mhm.
And during the auction as well, if they thought that Virat Kohli was their best option as the number one batter, they should have looked at getting someone who was a reliable T20 middle order batsman. But then again, it's a problem with RCB all the way through. They still went for Philippi and Finch, who are top order batters, and it still the problem is still the same. It's all about whether Kohli or De Villiers will fire or no. If you just look at they won 7 out of 15 games,
Mhm.
and 3 or 4 of them probably was won by ABD single-handedly, if I remember.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if De Villiers had a bad season, you could imagine where would RC be at the point table. So yeah, they need to seriously look at their selection panel when they go into the auction. They need to fix the loopholes, and we got to give it to SRH bowlers as well. And I think they chased down the total pretty smartly. Although it did seem like it got close, but I think it was only during those middle overs when the two leggers were bowling. But when you got Williams and Holder, and uh, you can't depend on Saini and Siraj to defend 30 of the last three. So yeah, pretty well done by I think a Sarish batsman.
The point you mentioned about RCB fixing loopholes, we've heard that over and over again, and we seem to just coming back to the same conclusion every season. Now, RCB is to the side. We have something more important on our hands. The all important semi final or the eliminator, whatever you want to call it, between Delhi Capitals and Sunrisers Hyderabad. Um, Delhi Capitals, I think we spoke about them in the first qualifier and their batting lineup being weak. And again, they've just proved that. And maybe we should start off there. I think that would be a good place to start.
Yeah, see, they have to change. They don't have an option. I don't think they have any other option than to change. They have to get Hitmaier back in,
Hmm.
and possibly they could move Stoinis up the order to open. That
That's
would be something really interesting. Now, see, I do understand that that would weaken the middle order, but then the problem lies there in the top order, not the middle order. If your top order fires, then only you stand a chance to post a decent score, or chase something around say 170 or 180. If you right now the best batsman has been Stoinis. I mean, apart from Shikhar Dhawan, who has not fired in the last couple of games or probably 4 or 5 games, Stoinis is the one who looks like a batter who could bat long, and we have seen him open for the Big
Mm.
Bash League as well, and he's been tremendously. He has done some played some great innings there. He has, if I remember, he scored 10 half centuries and a century, and at an average of 52, at strike rate of somewhere around 135. So that's great for him as a T20 opener. Plus, what it would do for Delhi Capitals is it would lessen the pressure on someone like Iyer and a Pant, so they can just go after the bowling and not think too much about building the innings if they do get a good start from Shikhar and Shoinis. So yeah, I think that seriously need to look that as that option.
You bring up a very interesting point. I actually did not give it a thought about moving Stoinis up to opening the batting. So that's a very good shout. I think they could probably look at that. One other thing I was thinking they could look at is probably, I think I mentioned this the last preview as well, where they could push up Rahane, bring in Hetmeyer, and I think Sams has to go in place for an Indian seamer. Maybe Harshal Patel can come into the side. That's another possible strategy they could look at. And speaking about Pant and moving him down the order, uh, it's a good point you bring up because I think we saw this case with Dinesh Karthik as well in, with the Kolkata Knight Riders, where when he was batting up high the order, he was not sure of his role and everything. But as soon as they pushed him down to number 5 and 6, he came in and got those quick fire 30s and 40s. And Pant, I think he needs that clarity a little bit more because as like he's hit only 3 or 4 sixes in the death overs. So once you push him down, he'll be more clear of his role in the team, which is to just go out and express himself, and that could really benefit him and the team.
100%, absolutely spot on. I think he needs to slot down the order. He just doesn't seem to get a run. In fact, I mean, he's uh, he looks out of shape, but then now you're left with him, and you can't bring back KD in, and those options are out for now. So you have to back him, and he has to come at 6. See, so for me, it would be Shikhar and Shoinis opening the batting, Rahane at 3, Iyer at 4, Hetmeyer at 5, and Pant at 6.
Okay.
You
Mhm.
so if he's coming in at a position where 4 or 5 overs are left, and he doesn't need to think much and just go after the bowling, I think, and you just need to back him and hope that he comes good.
For sure. And moving a little bit low down the order, if we come
Yeah.
into their bowling, now, Kaiso Rabada, he's gone wicketless in his last three out of his last 4 games. And that's a big concern for Delhi, given the importance he has played in the earlier part of the tournament.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's pretty much true. Although I think they have not used him as a power play wicket taker bowler. They mostly use him as a death bowler and someone who can commit at the middle overs as well, and sneak out one over there as well. So they need to use him as an attacking option like they do with Nokia. But see, I think the other day they had an off day of the office. I don't think someone like a Rabada and a Nokia, they would have consecutive off days. So I would back them to come good. And I don't think Delhi's bowling is the problem. It's just that their batting needs to come good, and they have the bowling firepower to defend a decent score.
Someone who did not have an off day was Ravichandran Ashwin. Did he surprise you with his bowling spell of 3 wickets in his 4 overs?
I wouldn't say it surprised me. You expect those kind of performances from a class player like him. See, Ashwin time and again has proved that he stands that opportunity to get back into the Indian white ball team, and it's just class bowling. It's just class off spin bowling. Tossing the ball up and If you see that dismissal of Kyron Pollard, so it was just a second ball, and he still gave that flight, right? And Pollard, for some reason, he went after him, but just that flight and the loop that there was, I mean, it was top class bowling, top off spin bowling. So yeah, I was not surprised at all, and he has troubled Rohit in the past as well. So Ashwin looks really good. Akshar, I think, was not used much in the last game for some reason. He could have been used better. Even I think even in the power play he could have been used. But yeah, on Ashwin's part, he did a great job, and I expect him to do a similar performance in this game as well, especially with Warner at the top, and that would be a great matchup.
Moving from an under-firing Delhi Capitals to a red-hot Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Saha's injury was a bit of a surprise, but then we saw last game David Warner at the top, and then Williamson and Holder just taking the team through to victory. Do you see any changes for SRH going into this all-important encounter?
Yeah, if Saha is fit,
Yeah.
he'll be back in the team. Apart from that, I would still like to see Abhishek Sharma in place of Priyam
Mhm.
Garg, because he gives the six bowling option, and right now they only have five bowling options, which can be a risky thing going in such an important match. Also, if you look at that batting lineup post Warner, they don't have a left-handed batting option till number 8, and so you'd want that left-handed option in the middle order as well. Abhishek Sharma gives you that option, but I don't necessarily see that happening because they would not want to tinker with that winning combination.
Mm.
But that would be a smart move if they do actually end up replacing Sharma with PM Garg. What's your take on this though? Do you see any other changes?
Not really. I think you wouldn't want to tinker with the winning combination, as you said. Maybe Williamson's position could be looked at. Maybe he
Yeah.
could move higher up the order. And but then if you look at SRH, they have to hold over Delhi Capitals because they won both their games against DC this
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. Yeah, see, you got to love Williamson. I'm probably, I mean, I'm just a fan of him. Williamson, he batted up the order. He opened this tournament as well. He's batted at three. He's played some real quick knocks as well. So the guy is just phenomenal. I mean, to pull off a chase like that, it was interesting too that he did a Virat Kohli right in front of Virat Kohli. So yeah, I mean, and I don't think they would move of him up the order because Manish Pandey has been very positive in terms of
Mm,
his intent this season. So they would want to maximize the initial overs if he does come in the power play. So Manish Pandey would be a better option. Personally, I would want him at number 3, Williamson, but I think they will stick to the same batting lineup. Especially Williamson gives that assurance between Pandey and Holder. So
mm.
yeah, they would want to stick with that.
You bring up Pandey, and one observation I wanted to make with Pandey is I look at him at as how Rohit Sharma was at the start of his career. Very inconsistent, but then when he plays those shots, you see there's a lot of potential with someone like a Manish Pandey, and he can really fire on his given day.
Yeah, he's a very good white ball batsman. I think I he if he does end up achieving half the things Rohit Sharma has, I think he would be proud of that. But more than anything, I've liked his intent this season. I think the earlier seasons he was too conservative in his approach. This time he has tried to take on the bowling, which he's very capable of, especially the spin bowling and even the faster bowlers during the power play. So yeah, Manish Pandey has been a revelation. Although I think he threw it away the other game, he could. It was
Hmm.
a great opportunity for him to finish the innings along with Williamson. but he would uh, be itching to go in the middle and play a good innings for Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Someone who did finish off the innings, in fact, a few people who did finish off the innings really well was SRH's bowling lineup. And you have
Yeah,
Yorker Natarajan, you have Sandeep Sharma, Rashid Khan. It's a very, very strong and potent bowling lineup.
for sure, for sure. Natarajan has been, I think, he's been the pick of the season. You
Absolutely.
had heard of Kishan, you had heard of even Surya Kumar Yadav, but someone who really surprised us is, I think, Natarajan. Those Yorkers and continuously, I think, he's been the best Yorker bowler this
Mm,
season, and continuously putting in those Yorkers in the death overs is not a difficult, not an easy task. I mean, we have seen top bowlers failing to do that. So good job on his part. And talking about Sandeep Sharma, I mean, his opening spell was really essential. I think he put a lot of pressure on
certainly.
the top batters. He didn't get wickets, but that's what partnership does, even in the bowling
Bowling,
department.
yeah.
Just a special mention to Rashid Khan. I think I just want to say he's the legend of T20 bowling. He didn't get a wicket, but if you just see the stats, he every match he bowls an average of 11 to 12 dot balls, which is like 3 dot balls per over. And if you're not getting runs on 3 balls
Mm,
in an over, that just creates pressure on the batsman team. Maybe he didn't get wickets, but on the other hand, Shahbaz Nadim got Aaron Finch's wicket just after Rashid Khan's over. So he helps other bowlers. He could have got a wicket. They didn't go for the review, but Rashid Khan has been phenomenal for Hyderabad, and it's amazing how he turns game after game and performs. I mean, he's just a great bowler.
he really, really is. And on that note, let's move on to our trivia section where we discuss some interesting facts or statistics. And starting us off, I wanted to begin with someone who really has to fire for Delhi Capitals, Shikhar Dhawan. Now, in knockout games, Dhawan averages 13.86 with a highest score of 34, and that is just not going to cut it if they're to
For
win
sure.
this game tomorrow.
Yeah, Shikhar Dhawan needs to come good. It's as simple as that.
On the other hand, if you look at someone like a Warner against Delhi Capitals, he scored 45 and 66 this tournament, and they've stitched opening partnerships of 77 and 107 respectively, which has been instrumental in them winning both their clashes against the Delhi Capitals.
Yeah, again, a very good point, and they'll want to repeat that performance again. Yeah. Also, there's some other interesting facts as well. So, Delhi Capitals, we have spoken about their top order and how they have failed miserably. So, interestingly, in their last 9 games, 7 of those opening partnerships, it has been single-digit partnerships. So, that's very alarming, and they need to sort that out. Also, the 5 IPL matches in 2019 and 2020, the Delhi Capitals have scored just 76 runs of 120 balls against Rashid Khan, and they
Wow.
gave away
Okay.
10 wickets with an economy of 3.8. You cannot expect
That is
teams to win
tremendous.
that
Yeah.
if you let a bowler bowl continuously to a particular line and length and create pressure. It is going to haunt you for sure. Also, we've talked about Pant and Rahane, and they've not been up to the mark. So this is an interesting fact. Only Glenn Maxwell has a lower strike rate this season amongst the batsmen who have faced 100 or more balls than Ajinkya Rahane and Rishabh Pant. So, and Ajinkya Rahane's strike rate has been 107, and Pant's strike rate has been 109. So if your top two batters have those kind of strike rates, it's difficult to post a decent score.
And that's a stat you wouldn't associate with someone like a Pant, which is very interesting to note. Now let's move on to our key segment of key players. So I would
Yeah,
want you to give me one key player from Sunrisers Hyderabad as well as the Delhi Capitals.
yeah. Look, Sunrisers Hyderabad. I am backing the captain David Warner because I think he has the ability to tackle top class fast bowling which Delhi possesses, and he needs to come good, uh, especially in the absence of Riddhiman Saha. And we have seen Hyderabad's middle order uh, not being fully assured, although the other game they did take it through, but with Priyamgar and Manish Pandey not firing as they would want to, David Warner needs to step up, and I think he's a key player for SRH. What about you, though? Who do you think?
I would go for Williamson because of how calm and settled he is, and in a high pressure, high match, high intensity situation, you would want someone like Williamson out in the middle, guiding the team through. And given he has Manish Pandey, who's very inconsistent and very inexperienced, not inexperienced, but then not too exposed middle order with Priyam Garg and Holder. I think he is that glue for SRH right in the middle at number 4.
Very interesting and very important pick. Williamson is a very key player for SRH for sure. What about Delhi Capitals, though?
Delhi Capitals, I would go with Marcus Stoinis.
Yeah.
He's been a consistent performer for them for the entire season, and he contributes both with the bat and with the ball. And especially if he gets to open the innings tomorrow, he can hold that. He can improve that opening stand for Delhi Capitals and contribute with the ball as well. What about you?
Yeah, this time I would pick the captain again from Delhi's side. I think Sheshayar would be wanting that big innings. I think last game he was batting pretty well against the Mumbai Indians. He was unlucky to get caught at covers, but I think Sheshayar and with his ability to dominate the spin bowling, especially if they do end up getting a good start, Sheshayar can really take it through and make it a big one.
Very interesting choice, Shreyas Iyer. Very nice. Let's move on to our match predictions for the day. What are you feeling, Gaurav? Who's going to win this all-important clash to meet Mumbai in the final?
Yeah, it's a very tough one compared to the other two games that we did preview of. Uh, just have a feeling Delhi Capitals have that firepower in the bowling, especially. I am aware about their batting problems and all the out of form batsmen as well, but I think they have got enough firepower in the bowling if they can just put up a decent score. uh, they have enough class bowlers to defend the score. And Sunrisers Hyderabad, with their form, you can't take them out of the equation. But it's just that I feel they would get over the edge. It would be a close one, and Delhi Capital should get over the line. What
Very
do you
interesting
think, though?
choice. I'm going the opposite end. I'm going with Sunrisers Hyderabad. They're in red hot form. Momentum is on their side, and I just like, I just like Sunrisers Hyderabad from how they've just carried themselves throughout this tournament. I'm a big fan of how they've done it, and the bowling partnerships, as you mentioned, that's going to be key for them, as well as if Saha comes back in, that's going to be a huge boost for Sunrisers Hyderabad. So I'm backing them to win this contest.
Yeah, yeah, should be a really interesting
Yeah,
match.
that
And
that's for sure. Yes, it. I'm very excited for this contest.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed watching us give our opinions and thoughts and predictions. Now, if you want our Dream 11 picks, we have that on a separate video, which I think you would see somewhere on top over here. And thank you all for watching. Please consider subscribing, as it would really help the channel and it would really encourage us as well to do more such content. Thank you so much, Gaurav, for all your insightful opinions, and it's been a pleasure.
Thanks a lot. Hope to see you soon for the next preview and before the finals as well as the post match as well. And let's hope that we get a really good game. Thanks a lot.
For sure. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.